Call the meeting to order. The pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you like to start, Kathy, would you like to start with the roll call? Everybody turn on your microphones. Remember, close that. We have to talk into the microphone.
Albert,
I'm here.
Cooper, Ferguson,
Here.
Black,
Here.
Polly,
Here.
Janelli, he's here, he's over on the buildings. Katrina,
Here.
Petrofessa,
He's out with the excuse.
Tattersack,
Here.
and Trenzilla.
Here. Excellent. All right, it's a big night. There's an awful lot of big audience. We should run the business part of our meeting, and then we'd have actually somebody here. But instead of doing that, what we'll do is we'll continue for why you're all here. And I have, the young people in our audience have won something called the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education, which we call CAVE, their Student Leadership Awards. So I'm going to call people out and read about you, why you're here. All righty? And everybody remember when you hear it, they're not here by themselves. There's parents behind them that drive this. Grace Gelato, is she here? I think I know her. Yes, hi. Congratulations for being chosen to receive CAVE's Student Leadership Award. Leadership is a quality that's hard to define, but it remains critical to our society. CAVE has developed criteria to help define that leadership. Your principal received a list of these criteria and was asked to name Danbury High School students who met them. Your principal considers you such a student leader. We are pleased to present you, together with other student leaders across Connecticut, with our 17th annual CAVE Student Leadership Award. You should take pride in the recognition bestowed upon you. We encourage you to continue to think and act like a leader. Again, our congratulations and all the best to you in future endeavors. It's signed by Richard Murray, who's the president of CAVE, and Robert Ritter, who's the executive director. They all are, so I won't repeat that every time. Nothing that's said here, it just exemplifies for how every person at this table also feels about you. Okay, so come on up, Grace, and get your... Is Tyler, can you come up? Here he is. The Alternative Center of Excellence is represented by Jasmine.
Anybody?
Where are you? Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Excellent.
And John King. Thank you so much. All right, Broadview Middle School. Cassandra Lanson. James. Rogers Park. Megan? Oh, no, Megan's not going to be here. Lucio? Congratulations. Westside Middle School. Katarina Silva? Megan and Jacob are on a trip to on a Washington trip. They'll be at our next meeting. Alrighty, thank you, and again, thank you for making us so proud.
Before we go, would the recipients stand up? All right.
And let's get a picture.
All right. Would you come on up here? Just stand by Dr. Glass. Mrs. Boccaccio, you have a few words? Let's see, we have
You don't.
Sandy, would you come on up? And Valerie Tracy is here, and Mr. Robs is here. I'd like you to say something about these youngsters. I would appreciate it.
Thank you.
Why don't you just wait a second, otherwise Flo will jump all over you.
Yeah, you do because
Thank you.
a little tighter. You can start, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for coming. Okay, just all of you parents, this meeting is televised, and it also then segues onto the website. Alrighty, so you'll have all of this for posterity. Alrighty. Since today's day and age, it's really hard to do it in that morning. Thank you. All right, Gary. Oh,
Okay, Gary, here you go.
no, Gary's taught, we need this picture.
A few words about Grace Gelati. Grace is one of our top students at Danbury High School. She has a very high GPA. She has been accepted and will be attending Clemson University in the fall, majoring in engineering and science. She currently is taking classes such as AP English, AP Stats, and AP Bio. Talking about engineering, she was one of the few students who engineered our Celebrate My Drive contest, which netted us $25,000 this year. She was instrumental in that. She is our Board of Governors Vice President, and as such, she has been a representative to the Board of Education, speaking here at monthly meetings. She's also a representative to the School Governance Council. She's on the National Honor Society, is one of our peer leaders, and has been a Girl Scout for 10 years. Congratulations, Grace.
Thank you.
Tyler, an excellent student at Danbury High School, will be attending Penn State in the fall. His plan is to become a financial planner. I need you, Tyler, later on. He is taking AP Stats, AP Calculus, and AP Spanish. He, along with Grace, was the key component to a very successful Celebrate My Drive initiative this year. He's our Board of Governors Treasurer. He's a representative to the Board of Ed, as well as the School Governance Council. He's in the National Honor Society, has played basketball and 4 years of varsity soccer. He was on our prom committee. One of the things that he's most proud about, Dr. Glass, is that he's a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. And he's a huge volunteer in the community, from Habitat to Humanity to St. Jude's Hospital. And I know that he gets a lot of that. You may remember his mom, who spearheaded the freshman sports campaign 4 years ago. So congratulations, Tyler. We're very proud of both of you.
I didn't realize that I was speaking this evening, so I don't have something in front of me, so I'll speak from my heart. I wanted to say something about Jasmine. Jasmine has been with us for a year at the Alternative Center and exemplifies what a role model at the Alternative Center should be. She is respectful, she is conscientious of her work, and she, I think, demonstrates the epitome of what a student at ACE can get the most out of a program. I go to her, and teachers go to her for leadership, and she is just an absolute pleasure to be around. So I'm very pleased that you are with us. Congratulations to you. All kids at ACE touch our hearts. John has a big place in mine, as does his wonderful mother, Lorena, that is with us tonight and has been incredibly supportive. If there has been one person at the Alternative Center over the past 3 years that has made the most significant growth, it's John King. And he is the Board of Education representative and just an absolutely outstanding young man. And so I love you, John. Congratulations.
I just saw them last night at the National Junior Honor Society induction. And their parents, by the way, have the nerve to thank me for the job that they did in raising these two fine young people. Both of them exemplify all of the precepts that she mentioned for the CAVE Award. And I want to congratulate you on the job well done. Thank you, guys.
I'm here on behalf of Lucio Bellantoni. I'm very proud to be here. Lucio maintains an A average. His teachers depend on him to help with academic activities, a leader in his groups. He's been involved in community service. He's been a member of the Boys Leadership Program, has been selected to attend multiple leadership events at Sacred Heart University, has been involved in many sports, including baseball and football, in fishing tournaments, and he has also been involved in community service throughout the community. So we're very proud that he's here accepting this award.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for raising these wonderful young adults. And thank you for making us so proud, guys, okay? Good luck to you. I'll see you, some of you, next year. I know that.
Thanks, Ambrose. We'll see ya.
Okay, technology department.
Yes. Guys here. Yes. Kathy, you want to come up? Okay, I didn't know this day existed, everybody that's left. It's called National School Nurse Day. Guys, we're continuing with the meeting, guys, okay? Thanks. So Ms. O'Dowd is here. But first of all, we want to say thank you to all our school nurses. And again, here's a congratulations. We have a congratulations to Lynn Gibbon, who's the Steadley Ruff School Nurse, for receiving an honorable mention in the 2015 Salute to Nurses in Fairfield County. Kathy, where is she? Oh, dear person. Like right here next to me? There you go. You have something to present to her, or do I have it? Okay. So you want to give...
Thank you. National School Nurses Day was established to help raise awareness among administrators and educators about the role of the school nurse. Our role is a very complex one, but our main goal is to ensure that children are healthy as they can be. We know that healthier children learn better, and I'm very proud of all of our school nurses who work very hard every day to ensure that children are in school, in class, and ready to learn. And we have one exceptional nurse this year. Lynn Gibbon is our nurse at Steadley Ruff School. And every year the Hearst Publications do an honorable mention for nurses throughout Fairfield County. And Lynn was very fortunate to receive that honorable mention. We're very proud of her. So on behalf of Lynn and all the school nurses, I would like to thank Dr. Sal and the Board of Education for your recognition of our role and its value in the educational process. And congratulations to Lynn.
Come on so we can shake her. Hold on, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Absolutely.
Oh, right. Well, while they're taking a picture, I'm going to read my report. Before the start of the board meeting, already I asked anybody that wanted to speak to sign up. The board welcomes public participation and asks the speakers please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Speakers may offer objective comments on school operations and programs that concern them. The board will not permit any expressions of personal complaints or defamatory comments about the Board of Education personnel and students, nor against any person connected with the Danbury Public School System. Having said that, I'm going to ask, is there anyone that would like to speak? May I ask you to come up and sign in at the table and okay, here, thank you. Thank you.
I am from Morris Street School, and I came here tonight to let you know a few of the updates of things going on at Morris Street. For one thing, Morris Street is doing very well right now, and where the year is winding down, everybody's looking anxiously ahead to the year winding down. But we just began a new program at the school to educate our parents. We provide homework help. Besides educating the parents, we provide homework help for the parents' children, babysitting for those who need it, and many of our teachers are there tonight running the program with our parents. So we have quite a few. I think we have over 37 parents participating. We have many other parents on a waiting list hoping to get in. So things are going very well. Morris Street is also going to see some changes for next year as we have 3 retirements. Carmen Fernandez, who has taught for 39 years in Danbury. Cindy Magliero, language arts, and she's taught 41 years. And Judy Butterly, our former teacher of the year, a first grade teacher, and she has taught 48 years in Danbury, and we're very proud of them. So that really sums up what I have to say as the year is ending. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy, the consent calendar.
Motion that the Board of Education approves the items on the consent calendar exhibits 15-86 through 15-93 as recommended.
Second motion. Seconded by Gladys. Okay, are there any questions or comments besides mine? Okay. Let's talk about the retirements for 1 second, as you just mentioned some of them. We have a Margarita Dieter. If someone would tell me schools that they know, because I don't know that maybe we could do that next time.
Eileen, I just have to correct myself. It's through 9-2. 9-3 is an action item.
Okay.
Okay, Flo, you got that? Okay. Thank you.
Margarita Dieter.
She was a tutor, a special education tutor, and I just can't recall the time where she was talking about. She was in a number of different assignments in the course.
She's a tutor for 22 years. Wow. Carmelina Fernandez is 39 years.
Teacher.
Wow. I mean, think about this. She was working when she was at Morris. Okay.
Morris Street.
Tay
Rico was a secretary up at Danbury High School
for 19 years. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. Cindy, we just heard that 41 years at Morris Street. Elena Mesa.
Again, a tutor, I believe, a paraprofessional at Great Plains School.
For 27 years. Paulette Vidal, 27 years.
I think also a tutor.
Another tutor?
DHS.
At DHS.
And Maureen Naraski is the building secretary at Great Plains.
Okay. And then something that's really not that they all don't affect me, but I don't know them all personally, but the fact that Julia Horn, after 45 years, is leaving us is mind-blowing for me. Julia's the principal at Shelter Rock School. Wow, thank you, Julia. And now tell her personally, but it's nice to say that. Okay. Alrighty, the other thing I would like to do is receive. This is amazing. We just go over it, and I very seldom have read it, and I've been doing this for 150 years. So We have donations, like from the GE Volunteers Foundation for Danbury High School's Vermont Battle Team, $5,000. $2,500 from Sealed Air Corps in care of the Danbury Education Foundation. The library media escape projects at Rogers Park Middle School and Broadway Middle School. $1,000 from Reds and Ultrasonics for library media escape projects. And $100 from Ranger Brothers for library media escape project. I mean, it's wonderful. This is community participation at such a different level. All right, now that I've spoken about everything that I wanted to talk about, yes, we do. Yes, we're very well bred as a board of education. Yes, we do what we're supposed to do. Next, moving along. Now this motion was made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Thank you. There is an employee representative in the. Would you like to speak, sir? Please come up and introduce yourself since we haven't seen you. I'm sorry, that was me being friendly. It was not mean. He knows I'm not being spirit.
Hi, I'm Sam Buck. I'm the NEA Danbury president this year. I apologize for not being here earlier, and just for Dr. Sal's sake, I apologize for not having a tie on. I've been going since 6 a.m. when I left the house this morning, and ties are not really good in the automotive shop working around equipment. So I apologize for not being better dressed. We tried a little thing this year with, instead of me coming to you each meeting, we had schools sign up so they could come like Morris Street just did, and I know AIS was here. I think part of the problem became 7 o'clock at night, as you all know, is very late, especially if you've been in a classroom all day, or at any job all day. That's a long, long day. So I apologize for there being months where you didn't hear from anybody. Do you guys have any questions for me? Or, I mean, it's real. You guys know what's been going on this year.
How was your retirement? Did you have your retirement dinner
We
last
did.
night?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad somebody promised me. We had our retirement dinner last night. We had 245 teachers show up at the Amber Room to send off our 12 retirees who were able to make it. And it was just phenomenal. Our Vice President, Kathy Berman, who's a kindergarten teacher over at Haystown, did the math, and it was something like 480 years worth of teaching here in Danbury. That was walking out the door at the end of this year. Not that they haven't earned it, but they will be missed, all of them. And you know, this year was so much fun. Let's do it again next year.
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you for instituting the individuals that come up to tell us about this school. I think that's very important. We don't get an opportunity to hear that independently from the schools, and I really like that. I think it builds a better relationship, and it informs us as to really what's going on.
Right. There's only so much I can tell you about when I come up here. I can tell you what's going on in the auto shop at Danbury High School, but that's about the extent of my
Why don't you tell them about that thing that's sitting at the far bay that you're working on?
Which one? The hay wagon, the...
We have a hay wagon for the board that they're working on.
Yes.
It's an interdepartment program.
Yeah, which there was a little slight meltdown today.
With the brakes
work. The hay wagon is supposed to be inside every night so it doesn't get vandalized. And this morning our head custodian, Mr. Anderson, and Ken Allsworth, who's now in the auto shop with me, who's retiring at the end of this year for 43 years, walked in and the shop was empty. I had received an email last night saying another organization was using it. It'll be back on Friday. So I knew about it. They did not. There was a bit of a meltdown there with two grown men close to tears. And it threw both of them off their game enough that neither one of them turned off the alarm in the building, which then went off while they were trying to figure out where the trailer was.
Good job.
Have a hay wagon next week.
So yes, you will have a hay wagon. Kim Miller is one of the art teachers up at the high school. She is in the process of painting Luan to hang on the sides to go with whatever the theme was that you guys chose.
Oh, no, we didn't choose anything. You have no idea. That's okay. It's all right.
I'm scared to ask from the first one I heard, so.
No, that's okay. Thanks so very, very much.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Could I ask them right now?
There are people sitting in the audience that are still holding their breath. Oh, is there anybody else that would like to speak?
We need it.
Do we have student representatives that are speaking tonight? Or did we just? Okay, I guess that's it. All right, so the presentation, Stand Together, Make a Difference. Our representatives are here. And we're going to move so you can turn this on and I won't get blinded. There's information at your desk, at your seats. Everybody take a look. This is Terry Budlong. She's going to speak to us and introduce herself and tell us who you are. And then there's another guy out there. So, hold on. Let's get out of your way. There you go. Somebody in the lights.
Well, my name is Terry Budlong, and I am Director of Prevention Services for the Midwestern Connecticut Council of Alcoholism here in Danbury, the MCCA. And I work very closely with Stand Together, Make a Difference, who is really the Substance Abuse Prevention Council locally here in Danbury. And in my work, I work very closely with them. Tonight we have DJ Jimenez, he's our chair, and Joey Dobbins, he's here as well. So I first want to thank Dick Janelli and Eileen for giving us the opportunity to be here. I just really want to give you a brief overview of what we're doing in Danbury for prevention. And I'm going to do this via a PowerPoint. First, I just wanted to go over with you a few prevention statistics. 95% of people who are dependent on alcohol or other drugs started before they were age 20. And that's really why we are so concerned about underage drinking and substance abuse here in Danbury. Each additional year of delayed drinking reduces the probability of alcohol dependence by 14%. That's a large percentage. So with every year that someone puts off having their first drink, it really reduces their chance of ever becoming addicted. And that's, of course, what we want to do. 1 in 4 families today suffer from some kind of addiction in their family. That's a lot of folks. We know that parents are still the most important role model in a child's life. Alcohol dependence. We know that the more accessible alcohol is, the more kids are participating in it. As the price of alcohol increases, we know use decreases. With the stores being open now later and on the weekends, access is just more prevalent, so kids are drinking more. My position is funded by DEMAS, the Department of Mental Health Addiction Services, and we operate under a grant. The MCCA holds that grant. But I am like the legwork for Stand Together, Make a Difference out in the community. I work with a wonderful coalition of folks who are all volunteers. I'm the only paid staff person in the community. And our focus has been for the last probably 5 years, underage drinking and prescription drug use. The grant focuses on what we call environmental strategies. And I wanted just to give the Board of Education a little idea of what an environmental strategy is. In the past, we have worked under programs with DEMAS that have been involved more with individual strategies. So it's small psychoeducational support groups in schools, teaching kids about alcohol and drugs. Now, just as the tobacco industry really changed the culture of the way we look at tobacco use, we are trying to change the culture of the way people in Danbury look at underage drinking. That it's not just a part of growing up, it's something that some kids will grow out of. Because the fact is, there are some kids who don't grow out of it. So environmental strategies are things like changing policies and laws, gaining public support, and gaining support and working very closely with law enforcement. The definition is that an environmental strategy is a planned and implemented to decrease the social and health consequences of underage drinking by limiting access to alcohol and changing social norms that are accepting and permissive of its use. So everything that the coalition does right now focuses on those environmental strategies. The goal of these strategies is to create an environment that discourages use, decreases youth access, and helps to change the environment. So an individual strategy is something that works one-on-one with the kids, and environmental strategies work with entire communities. So I mentioned Stand Together, Make a Difference, which is your local substance abuse prevention council. And we really are here to serve you and be a resource to the Board of Education. And that's why I just wanted to come and let you know what we're doing so you would know that we're out there in the community working. But a coalition is a formal arrangement for a collaboration among groups or sectors of a community in which each group retains its identity but all agree to work together toward the common goal of a safe, healthy, drug-free community. The goal is really to empower members to continue the work even if all the grants go away. And we're seeing more and more the grants are going away. My grant this year, well, for the past 4 or 5 years that I've been working under, was just decreased for next year, which we don't even know if we're getting yet, about $30,000. So that decreases what we're able to do in the community. So we have to continue to be very creative. And the great thing about having some grant money to work with is that we've been able to really collaborate with Stand Together financially to put billboards up in the community and do some things. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. So Stand Together's mission is to form a collaborative community effort to promote healthy life choices, right? And some examples of coalitions really working with environmental strategies include, for example, Ridgefield. They were instrumental, their coalition, in getting stronger laws around the social host law. And I've got some cards there if you're interested. But the social host law is about underage drinking parties and hosting them. And we've done a card that kind of does a brief explanation of what that law is, who is liable, and what the ramifications are of hosting parties in private places, both in English and Spanish, that we are getting out into the community. Gaining public support, there are sectors that are represented on our coalition. And we have tried to include just about every sector that we can think of. So we've got a parent, we've got the schools, the mayor's office, youth-serving organizations. Joey is here. He works for Danbury Youth Services, and he is just one representative. Youth themselves, we've got a wonderful student from Danbury High School. We've had in the past students from Abbott Tech on our coalition. Faith-based, business, community, media, law enforcement, healthcare, civic and volunteer groups, and other agencies like the MCCA, who are involved in reducing substance use. We also are fortunate now to have liaisons, either Eileen or Dick, sit into our coalition meetings. So the Board of Education is now represented, which we're thrilled with, and we really thank you for being a part of that. And then with law enforcement, we have partnered with the police department to conduct what we call drug take-back days. They used to be twice a year, and the coalition tried to get the word out. We have some cards that we gave to every pharmacy to get the word out. We put ads in the paper to let the public know. These were days when the general public could bring unused prescription drugs to the police department, and at the end of the day, they were whisked away by the DEA and burned. And this gets prescription drugs out of the hands of kids, which we want, because one of the greatest ways that kids are becoming addicted to heroin is through the use of Oxycontin. They have surgery because they hurt their knee wrestling, and they become addicted to it. That becomes very expensive. Heroin contains the same properties as do pain medications, and so kids move on to heroin. So we want to get drugs out of the hands of kids. This Drug Take-Back Day has been sponsored nationally. So we've had a lot of help with the DEA and police departments and all these folks. They have stopped sponsoring these in hope that communities would start to have what they call prescription drug drop boxes in their police departments. And a lot of the communities around the state have those. We have been working with our police department for the last several years to try to get one, so folks can just drop by anytime, throw their drugs in the drop box, and then they're emptied periodically and taken away and burned, which is the best way to get rid of prescription drugs. If you flush them down the toilet, then other people are drinking your prescription drugs, so that's not such a good idea. We've also done compliance checks with the police department, so we've gone around with underage kids who buy alcohol and they use their regular driver's license, so it has their birth date on it. Some we've even taken kids with their temporary driver's license, and they have been sold prescription drugs, alcohol. So we work with the police department to conduct these compliance checks around the city of Danbury. Let me get rid of this guy. What?
Going for prohibition.
That would restart. You hit the restart button, not cancel.
Well, that's okay. I'm good.
Okay. That works.
Okay, so some of the projects that Stand Together Make a Difference has been involved in have been putting billboards up and bus ads. We've done a lot of tails on buses. We are involved with the Taste of Danbury. We started a freshman forum with the high school, and it's specifically regarding underage drinking, and this year we included marijuana because of the use with medical marijuana. All the kids think that it's legal and safe. I mentioned compliance checks. We also do what we call a student survey at the high school, and we've done it for since 2010, I believe. Stand Together was instrumental in working with the high school to get that underway, and that really gives us the basis of statistics of what the kids are really involved with. And it really surveys attitudes and behaviors of the kids. So that's something that they've done. Distribution of the social host law and publicizing what the law really is. Drug take-back days I've mentioned. And the last few years we've done, a media campaign. we really wanted to bring attention to reducing underage drinking in Danbury. So we started this campaign and asked people in the community to stand together to reduce underage drinking. And our superintendent of schools, a lot of the principals, a lot of folks really became involved with this. Sterling over there helped us do our video that I hope to show you at the end here. I'm not sure, is that going to happen? Oh, great, okay. But we've done billboards, and I'll pass this around. You've probably seen these billboards. We put posters all over Danbury, and I think one of these billboards is still up over near Triangle Avenue. Promotional material, we had the kids at Abbott Tech help us design a lot of our materials. We really tried to engage the community, and we started a landing page where businesses and anyone could sign up for the landing page. We'd put their business on the landing page with a live website that would take folks to their particular business if they wanted that. So we've done a lot of things. One of the main things that I'm involved in is parent and student presentations at the schools here in Danbury. I speak to every 7th grader in Danbury on underage drinking and give them a little sticker that kind of replicates our billboards, just as a reminder, and speak to all the 8th graders about prescription drug use. I'm in some of the elementary schools speaking to parents. I'm going to be at Ellsworth, and I do regular talks at Morris. Would like to get into more elementary schools and talk to 5th grade parents in particular. And I'm also working in various capacities at the high school, speaking to kids and parents. We did an underage drinking fundraiser in conjunction with a Monster Mini Golf a few years ago. And I've already mentioned the forum. So those are just some of the things that Stand Together is involved with. And again, we're just here to be a resource for you and want to help you in any way in the schools. So please, contact me, let Eileen know, so we can help make your job easier.
Okay, and thank you. And I want everybody to ask questions, but would you mind asking Joe to speak about what his project is, his main project?
Joey, through Danbury Youth Services, is involved with several different things, so he's going to mention what he does.
So real briefly, as I'm sure you guys know or have some indication, substance use is something that spans all sorts of areas, which is how Danbury Youth Services is involved. Besides the clinical services that we have, the after-school programs that we offer in the different middle schools and elementary schools, we also have what's called the LIST Coalition, where we're focusing on keeping kids out of the court system and in schools. Because of that, we have focused our mission and our aim on chronic absenteeism. By doing that, it fits in well with Stand Together, Make a Difference, because it allows us to address not only why kids aren't coming to school, but addressing the reasons of substance use that might be one of the reasons they aren't coming to school. So that is it for my element of this, and thank you for your time.
Do we have statistics on how many children in Danbury you're talking about? What are the statistics in there? I guess I'm being naive. I didn't know we had a problem.
Everybody's got a problem.
That is part of the problem.
On this info brief, it'll give you a little bit of information, and if I'll give you my business card, and if you can email me, I can give you
The
some more
statistics.
Yes, thank you.
How long has Stand Together Make a Difference been in existence?
It's been in existence for probably 10 years or more. It's gone
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry.
DJ, stand up and wave.
I'm DJ.
Okay, anybody have questions? Because now's the time to ask them. Okay, I heard your question. Anybody else? I mean, I think it's phenomenal that I didn't know, I think it's phenomenal that I didn't know about it. I mean, I don't know about a lot of things, but this was a pretty big deal not to know about.
Yes. Yes.
Did you hear that question?
Middle school, the kids down in smaller groups. And I really I talk more from some personal experience and some of the things that my kids went through growing up in a house that had an alcoholic dad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty powerful. Can we show briefly the 3-minute DVD?
Did we get something to play it on?
Oh, that was the machine. I thought you when you were shutting it down.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
It was
down.
a DVD player.
You could send it to us.
Okay.
How we should we do that?
There's the link.
Oh,
There's
is
a link?
there? Where?
Yes.
The link from?
If you go to the Danbury webpage right now you're watching us.
Yep.
And down at the bottom there's a video. If you click the arrow to the right, the very next video is their stand together video.
Okay, there you go. See?
Wow. And when did that happen?
Thank you very much.
When did that little miracle happen?
Like 2 minutes ago, I put it there so that anybody who goes to the webpage after watching this, the next thing they watch is this video.
Okay, two things I have to say. You hold that thought. And the other thing is thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for what you're doing. Not just thank you for coming to present, but thank you for what you're doing.
And at one point, I had the pleasure of attending a function at the Palace Theater watching DJ Dancing with the Stars. He was one of the stars. It was amazing.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't realize we were in the company of such nobility. Thank you. They almost watched me dance because it was taking so long for everybody to get here from the finance committee. I was going to sing, and that was a scary thought. Alrighty, and thank you for doing that. Those little miracles that just happened that nobody. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's the most amazing thing that you can do what I do for as long as I've done it, and still find that people just working their guts out all the time. Whether it's a principal of a school that's here since he started work at like 6 o'clock this morning and has gone straight through because his kids were being acknowledged. I mean, or her kids were being acknowledged. I don't mean to be. And it just amazes me the passion that everybody has. On that note, Kathy, you want to address the action items? A?
That the Danbury Board of Education authorize the superintendent of schools to accept the educational specifications and complete grant application ED 049 for the state approval for the roof replacement at Rogers Park Middle School in accordance with 15-93.
Second.
Seconded by Bob Tabersack. Any questions? Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll try your minds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Okay, good. Moving right on to the anticipated superintendent's report.
No report.
There is a God. Got it?
You said you want a quick meeting.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. Okay, for information, we have the updates to the wellness policy. Please read them because it's coming up for a vote next meeting.
Yep.
Okay. The school lunch price increase. Somebody just want to briefly address that, Joe? We don't have detail, but just...
As the board knows, we have to comply with the national state guidelines for basically what we charge each student for lunch. And you'll see in the board packet, there is a ratio we have to complete. We have to be at $2.70 for our blended rate for both elementary and secondary to basically get our federal and state funding. So we are going to increase the elementary price a nickel. High school price is fine. The goal is really to bring the two a little closer together, so that's why you see just a nickel and not a nickel at high school as well. So that's,
okay.
Last year we went up a dime, so this year thankfully it's only a nickel.
There you go. You want to talk about nickel and diming things? Or no, I guess not. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, really. All right. And let's, for information, we also have the Danbury High School trip to France, Morocco, and Spain, which I read the itinerary for, and I'm going to start selling cookies at the next meeting so that I can earn the money to go. Okay? I will. I'll chaperone. All right. Now it's my turn for my big mouth. Memorial Day Parade. We just talked about it before. We know they've gone to the great trouble of getting us a what is it called? A float. Okay, where we're totally exposed to the public. They can see us. We're not in a bus or anything like that. We can't complain that we can't be in it because we can't walk or it's too far. They're going to ride us down Main Street. Uh-oh. Oh, well, all right, that's very good. It's on for information. Actually, next meeting is when we'll vote on it, so you should be there to answer any questions. Unless, excuse me for 1 second, I can break protocol and ask if anybody has any meeting questions tonight. No? Okay, thank you. Just come to the next meeting just in case. Okay, thank you very, very much. And I was serious about selling the cookies to raise the money. Okay. Alrighty, so the float. So how many people are going to march? Now, okay, I'm seeing a show of hands. I see Michael.
I was going to march, but I cannot march because I've been asked to be a judge of the floats. So
Now you know who it is.
Okay, I think there's a conflict of interest.
What?
I think there's a conflict of interest. The group that you belong to is going to have a float. So how could you not vote for it?
She's a Patriots fan.
I can.
Really? Oh.
Objector.
How can you be object? Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else? The parade is Monday. The 26th. It's always it's Monday. We're on Monday. The town surroundings are on Sunday.
That's why I asked, because I get confused.
It's Monday. Okay, and we, just for people that don't attend the parade normally, we are preceded by the Danbury High School Marching Band, then it's the Board of Education, and then we're followed by every child activity. So people that have their children are marching because of different things that they might belong to, that they're either in a sporting event or scouting or something like that. You can go drop them off because they're behind us. So you hit Rogers Park before them, so you're unloaded off so that you're right there to get them when they get out of line. Okay? So there's absolutely no excuse not to march. Ann Rose, you coming?
I'm marching with my daughter.
Oh. I forgot to cover that one. Okay. Glad?
I don't know right now.
All right. Richard?
Yes.
You marching?
Marching? No, I'm going to sit.
Well, you're going
It's going to float.
I'm going to float, yeah.
Holly, Mr. Holly, or are you not going to be in town? I imagined you're not going to be in town. Bob, are you with us?
I missed the marching, but I'll be with them.
Well, no, get on the float. Michael Ferguson, marching. Yes, good.
Phyllis is the judge.
I know we
She'll be judging us.
If you were if you had stayed at the meeting along with the rest of us, we heard it already.
They were confused. I wanted to let them know we cared about the trip.
Oh, yes, okay.
That's
That was
what
nice
they
of you.
were doing.
Yes, okay. Okay, I just thought you were escaping as usual. Kathleen, are you in Rhode Island?
Yes, I am.
Oh, all right. Okay, okay. Our usual participation. Okay.
Just a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, are you guys marching?
Open session? I don't know. Okay, I have an update.
I'm sorry. Are you saying yes, you're marching?
No.
Oh, well, don't you shake your head like this, but I'm saying, are you
I'm
marching?
saying yes to my boss over there.
And you are coming down from Torrington or wherever it is?
Wherever it is.
I don't know yet.
Where do you live? He lives here in Winnebago.
Listen, I don't want to step on your parade, but can I make a comment here on the
dear
superintendent's report?
I have something else to say.
Okay, I'll wait.
May I? Thank you so very much. Quickly pay attention. I have speak quickly because himself needs to talk. DSABC is tomorrow morning at 7:45. The breakfast. 7:45. Amber Room. How many of you are going to be there besides me? Michael, Bob, and Richard. Gladys. Yes. Did you say yes, Gladys?
Yes.
Yes. David.
All right.
Phyllis, if I can get up, Phyllis, darling, if I can get up and get there, you can get there too. Yes, you were,
But you can
don't
come and
worry
not
about
eat.
it.
I'm sure you can come and not eat.
No, no, you can come and eat. Stop. Okay, who else is coming? And you guys are coming, Bill and Sal?
Of course. There's always no shows anyways.
Oh, dear. Okay, moving along. Go, Sal, go.
We have, we've been
Microphone.
talking about the school calendar, and one of the things was the professional PD, but we've been waiting on arbitration, but I'll let you go ahead and.
Great. So late fall, the teachers union filed a request to go to arbitration on the issue of whether or not elementary school teachers would be required to attend a third meeting during the month. And we had a conversation several times about that matter, and our understanding that in fact we had negotiated for 3 meetings for all teachers. We received an arbitration award that in fact we prevailed. So all teachers in the bargaining unit are required to attend 3 meetings a month of 90 minutes each. And we released a schedule early in the year. So going forward, that will be our practice.
Excellent. Thanks.
Can I just ask clarification?
Yeah, sure.
So it's 3 meetings per month?
Yes.
Outside of their contractual day?
Yes. Well, we have made early release days. So, for example, on days when school releases at 1 o'clock, some of those 90-minute meetings are tagged on to those days. So students go home at 1 o'clock and teachers stay for another 90 minutes for their meeting.
They're only beyond the contractual day, 30 minutes, technically.
In that scenario.
In those scenarios. So what does the contract actually say?
They're required to attend 3 90-minute meetings a month.
And does it specify whether it's beyond the contractual day, or is it assumed?
Doesn't specify. It was old language that was modified to increase the time. So in some senses it's beyond their day, in some, beyond their school day. In others it's not. It's that modification that we did when we changed the schedule to include those 1 o'clock release times. But the issue for the arbitration was not that. The issue for the arbitration was, could elementary school teachers in particular be exempted from that third meeting because the old language talked about it as a department meeting.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
So you may recall, we did give you the calendar, and we have the Tuesdays meetings. What I'm going to ask you to think about was the hour dismissal, that we did the early dismissal, because we hadn't discussed that, waiting for this arbitration to be finalized, and it's taken a few months, as Kim said. We had surveyed the parents. I'm not sure if we had included in the information last time, but I will next time, because that's one of the things we need to do. We're trying to plan our PD days for next year. As we talk about the budget, you will see we've had to reduce, and we've reduced sublines and things of that nature. So the reliance on time after school is even more essential. But I know that we want to have that conversation, so that's why I want to bring it back to you, and I'll bring it next meeting.
So will you bring the results of this, you survey parents, and you're going to bring those results with you to the next meeting?
Yeah, we asked them, Phil, when did we send that survey out? 2 weeks ago?
About 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah.
We'll bring it back with the calendar. We did a
Parent
phone
survey
thing.
about what they prefer. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, on the release time.
And that was sent out through email?
No, phone call. We did a robocall. Yeah, that's been our best results.
So if you received, what if you didn't receive the phone call, then you didn't?
Then it's not on there. I mean, that tells us how many, I mean, we know how many didn't answer up. It doesn't do another call back, but we have that all part of the data.
So was there a way to answer the questions on the survey if you weren't there to pick up the phone?
No.
So there was no other way for a parent to express their opinion on the survey?
No, not based. Well, I simply said we do a survey, and we did a survey. I talked to the PTO people here again, and that's what we did. But as far as I know, it goes. I haven't received this. I don't live in town, but you'll get the call, and then it calls again. but I think that's all it does. And then we know how many didn't vote and how many voted.
I mean, how many respondents do we currently have?
I gotta look at that. I mean, I didn't pay close attention to it yet because I wasn't ready to bring it here. We just got this announcement that we're bringing it back to you yesterday. Yesterday.
So, based on the number of respondents, are you considering sending that call out a second time or possibly even a third time?
Oh, wait a minute here. We sent the response out. We sent the survey out and we got the response. And
right.
I don't know. I'd have to look at that. Do you have it, Bill?
Go check on my day. The breakfast is tomorrow morning, 7:30, 9 o'clock.
I haven't been, Sue Morris, who looks at it for us, he didn't come to me and say, we should send it out again.
Again, I'm just concerned that if the response rate, and I'm sorry, Dr. Salvin, if the response rate is 5%.
I don't know.
That's what I'm asking. So what is the response rate?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I'll dollar donuts, it's been much higher than that.
Okay.
I want to say the numbers up there are pretty high relative to what we've gotten in the past. But I'll have to find out.
Okay.
If you want to send it out again, we'll send it out again. That's fine. But we did send out the survey. We did get the feedback.
That's fine. I guess my only concern, I believe Ann Rose is as well, if the response rate is very poor, then perhaps it should be resent.
Or maybe a way to, because I received those phone calls, but I wasn't home, because it went to my home number, and it was a call saying that the Danbury Public Schools was conducting a survey. It didn't tell me what really the survey was about, but that was it, so I didn't.
Because you didn't pick up, you weren't able to respond.
So I was just I'm wondering if there was another avenue for parents to
No,
possibly.
there wasn't. We didn't provide one.
Great question. Thank you.
It's not unusual to have a low turnout from any survey anywhere. I don't think.
True.
That's true.
Well, I will check. It doesn't take a lot of time to send it out.
There you go.
Okay, let's just take a look at it. I'll take a look
Or
at it.
maybe send it out at a different time, maybe later on at night. I don't know if that's available, if you can. But the two that I got, when I got home, I played my messages and heard them, so maybe a different time.
Well, when you get all the results from this, don't you have a number of people that were able to answer as opposed to how many?
Yeah, no, it does. But I can't answer the question
He's gonna give you that
about the
information. No.
percentage.
Right, that's what we're
I
asking.
don't know that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay. What a fun. All right.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay, one other thing I need to talk about is that people don't seem to know that on, was it the 20th, Jenny? I just looked at it. Next Wednesday, we have a workshop, and it's on the Western Connecticut Academy of International Studies Operation Plan. Okay? Next Wednesday. Here. 6:30.
6:30?
I'm sorry, 6:30.
Okay.
I have my book at 6:30 and the paper at 6:30. And I just want to remind you that. I also want to remind everybody that there is not a meeting this meeting here. No.
On the 27th?
Yeah, there is a regular meeting.
Yes.
Okay. But not one beforehand, is what I'm saying. Okay. We also have that Danbury High School has their movement to music tomorrow night. Right? It's a really beautiful program. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the high school, the auditorium. And the following Saturday, the 30th, is CODA, the celebration of Danbury Arts, okay, at the high school between 11 and 5 in the courtyard, all right? That's all I have to say. Does anybody have anything about any committee that they're sitting on that they want to expound on? Yes, no, maybe? Nobody? Nobody went to a PTO? Nobody went to a governance council? Nobody did anything?
Went to the Honor Society, and Phyllis and I.
I'm sorry, Bob, if you're talking to the microphone, I got all
If
you.
you said anything else, Phyllis and I attended the
National Honor Society
Oh, you did?
induction
Yes, I'm
at
sorry, I didn't
Danbury
get
High
that.
School. Some of the young people were also recipients
Of course.
over here. And the big thing that I had my turn as the chair way back on, and the biggest thing is the amount of community service, I think, and there are more opportunities today than there were, say, 25 or 30 years ago, but that's the thing that sticks out in my mind, because they all have the academics, they generally all have the character and all that, but the big thing is the amount of community service, and I just hope we pass it along, that they continue it as they, mature. Okay?
Good job. Thanks a lot. And I apologize for not being there. No.
That's why we have a lot of people.
In my eyes, so it's all right. That's it. Kathy, the motion for executive session? All right, we're going to second it by Phyllis.
Yep.